Ministry of Community and Concession. If they were doing their oversight and saying, look, you're supposed to construct XYZ clinic and hospital and you haven't done that for this year. Or you need to give X amount of scholarship and you haven't done it. They're not doing that job. That's why we brought them on board along with that. And they took all of the responsibility and pass it back to the staff. And that's why I told you, one of the senators told this credit. Shame will be on you if you come here with another agreement for these people. So we really have, you don't see that bottles that are covered, even citizens, you don't know how many calls we receive on this one. It is embarrassing. What were we tell?
And so there's another day that has come. So we say good morning and welcome to today's edition of the program, The Blaze on Blaze 90.7. We can do anything, but not everything. Prioritize better. Progress has little to do with speed, but much to do with direction. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. You have the power on your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into visible. If a mind thinks with a believing attitude, one can do amazing things. Say good morning. This is your favorite program, The Blaze on Blaze 90.7 on a beautiful Wednesday morning. My name is Alexander Zesko. It's different. In Iberia, anything is possible. I'm here this morning, straight up to 10 o'clock this morning on to this edition of the program. Coming up, as usual, the Blaze Cash giveaway is on, and today is Wednesday jackpot. All you have to do is to make sure you are Lone Star Sales subscriber and you have 200 LD or more, or 150 cents US or more in your mobile money account, and dial the code star 799 star 9 hash. Select number 2 if it is LD you wish to do your transaction from, and you send it. You'll be asked to put your number of tickets. When that is done, definitely you put your mobile money pin. You stand a chance of winning 20,000 like Brenda does times 2. So today is double. Any amount that you win today is going to be doubled. So if you win 20,000, definitely 40,000 is going to come to you. You win 10,000, we'll send you 20,000. If you win 5,000, we'll send you 10,000. So it's just easy as ABC. Make sure you are Don't Start Sales subscriber. And today's 200 transaction. Is imagine you use 200. Some of you will be lucky to win 20,000 times 9 hashes the code. Multiple transactions allow you to win more money on this radio this morning. So today, like we said yesterday, that our guest today is Mr. Shadrach G. Thomas Doki, and he's not someone I just hearing the name, but he's been in the public for some time now, and he's a prominent citizen. And he also served as director of logistics for the CDC. And he also funded the NIMBA for WIA in 2023. And he once served as a consultant at the National Port Authority. So, like we said, he's our guest this morning on today's edition of the program, The Blaze on Blaze 90.7. He's here to talk about several national issues. First, we'll start with the ones that have to do with CDC. We'll talk about the 2023 elections. You'll tell us exactly how was it, and suspension, resignation, and dismissal of other stars of the party, and the invasion of the CDC's headquarters, the committee set up, and now we have proposed or a temporary CDC headquarters that have been announced in Say Town and Cinco. So he's here to talk about a wide range of issues anyway. So we say, Mr. Doki, good morning and welcome to Bliss FM.
So good morning. You want me to use the mic? Or?
Yeah, go ahead. Use the mic. Okay, so we take a short break. Let's take this break. Let him get adjusted small. Then we'll come back to talk our thing already. So let's take this short break with this son.
Let's no to trust. Me, I know say when you take it, it can make you feel alright. Now the reason you can take it, now the reason you can suck it. Me, I know say when you take it, it can make you feel alright. Boy, you're not good. You're not good, you're not good. Let's say no to trust. You're not good, you're not good, you're not good for your head. Yeah, let's say no to trust. You the world, you the world, like you the world, yeah, you the world, you the world, yeah, you the world, you the world. Let's hear the word.
Okay, let's hear the words. Yes, let's go to our guest now. Sadoki, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Okay, uh, everybody knows now who is Mr. Thomas or Shaja Thomas Tuki. But tell us, how has it been?
Oh, by the help of God, all has been well. From the side of the family, all has been well. Personal up and down, all has actually been well.
Okay, so it's good to have you in studio, and thanks for accepting our invitation to be here today. So you served as chairman and founder of the Nimba for We Are in 2023. Tell us, how was it in 2023 and what happened?
I 2023 was a historical one, a year and date that won't be forgotten. Uh, the Nema for We Are was actually founded on the basis of appreciating former President Weah for his immense contribution to the country, which evidently was approving. And we amassed voters across the country for the CDC back then. But then our people thought they would have had greater say in this government than that of the CDC government because they felt they were producing a vice president who, by virtue of his position, would have done more in terms of development, in terms of employment for the country, more than what the CDC-led government did. So we did our best, but our best could not amount that uh, we managed by the help of the county leader team, the help of the CDC youth, the help of other auxiliaries within the county, and the Nima for we managed to have amassed up to 52 plus thousand votes,
Okay.
which could not equal to what Unit Party got. And it was based on that we lost the county. So basically, that's what happened.
So was it that Nimba had someone going as vice running mate to another person that you did not get the vote that you needed?
Yeah. So obviously, Nimbadians have felt that it's time we hit for the head.
Okay.
Okay, so I I should be frank to you. Running campaign back then in Nima was very difficult because other people felt that you have a son of the country going for the second biggest position in the country. and then you find yourself going against that person. It's like fighting against yourself. So we found it actually difficult going across. So Nibadians actually felt that because we were producing a vice president who, by virtue of fact, is the second greatest person in the country, and that could have been the closest means that Nima could obtain the presidency. Okay, so it was based on that they decided to all go the way of the United Party, especially with the influence of our then godfather, Honorable the late Senator Prince Yomi Johnson.
Okay, and since then, after the election, what has been happening within the party that you know of?
Okay, so since the election ended, the party has been finding means to readjust itself. As you know, the CDC itself is a movement. It's not a monument. A movement is full of dynamism. So the party have been coming up with some strategies. What led to our failures yesterday? What can we do that we won't fail tomorrow? So those have been some of the major things the party have been doing. All has not been well, but I can assure you that more have been also done
Okay.
to bring the party up to speed.
Okay, so recently we also experienced those form part of the party before that the party made, and they also made contribution within the party. We saw them. It started with Thomas Fala, that the party dismissed, coming down to uh, Sir Joseph, just recent time, and they are all prominent figures within the CDC, and they have all left, and Sir Joseph now has his own political party. How do you see their living?
Okay, so it's important to note that CDC as an institution has rules that govern that institution.
Mhm.
And every organization has principles. Laws were meant to govern. Uh, there's an old English word that says Magna Carta, which means even the king should be governed by law. So CDC as an institution has rules set that even if the standard bearer goes against those rules, has consequences. So Honorable Thomas Father wasn't the first person to have been suspended or been expelled from the CDC.
Okay.
The leg of Joshua Saki, the leg of former Chairman Josolo, and so forth. We have a saying in the party that the party remains supreme. That goes to say that there is no individual that is more powerful than the institution CDC. It's not because of your wealth, it's not because of your education background or the numbers you bring to the table. But we believe in the party that anything you think you can do, another person in the party can also do it. That's what the Greek word always says, quickly homofeki, homofeki. Anything one person do, another person can also do it. So we have always loved to put the interest of the party first. So that's why we have the EC, which is the National Executive Committee of the CDC.
Mhm.
Whenever there is an offense against the institution, the committee will call you to board and dialogue with you. And if it is deemed necessary and you see to it that you can desist or find a common ground, you face it. Or if you feel you're so adamant and you don't want to go along the party's will, the place you along the way, or there's a punishment level for you. So that was the case of Tifa. Tifa has deviated the party mandate. Every individual or organization has its own ideology. And those that call themselves leaders within the organization must ascribe from those ideology. So Tifa did not ascribe to that ideology. The party has decided to support then Speaker Kofa.
Okay.
And Tifa said no. He had different motive. And the party said no.
Tifa said no.
Tifa supported Kun. And the party wanted him to support Kofa. So obviously, they could not come to common ground. So it was based on that backdrop that Tifa was expelled from the institution. I, as an individual, I miss him. I'm not really happy about his going because it's like we spent over 10 years together, over 15 years together in an institution. I entered the CDC since 2004, 2005. Coming to 2011, I had a personal relationship with Tifa. He was one of those that were very illustrious, industrious to the institution. Tifa was one of those that was helpful. My style of politics is different. If we were together and you were contributing to me, you were supportive to me, now that you have gone, I will explain your good regardless of the bad. So I won't just allow the bad to shadow everything. Okay, Tifa did a lot for the CDC. Okay. But all in all, the party remains supreme. There is no individual in the party that is more than the institution. And then coming down to Sir Joseph. Like I said, the CDC is a movement, it's not a movement. In the movement, people always have disagreement, but the interests of the party always remain paramount. But if we allow our disenchantment to direct our direction, then we put the party interest aside. I know there was some disenchantment from Honorable Sir Joseph N. But from what I see, he sees himself with the desire to go higher, which I don't have problem with it, because men by nature should be progressive, not static. So he believed that I've served as a senator for probably a decade or more, and I want to move to the next step, which I agree. But how was it done? My only problem is where you have served this institution for that long, and then you want to leave, and then not leaving with the clear motive. Because Tifa said, "Oh, are you going?" Sir Joseph said CDC intended burning his house, which in my mind and realistically is a blatant lie. And he said, former President Weah did not speak to him for over 4 years, which I also believe was a blatant lie. So you could come out to say, look, I'm fed up being with the CDC. It's now time I break camp and move forward. But not to say things that I believe was not actually the reality. Even to the extent that you also say then Chairman Molu was beaten, he was stripped naked, and shamefully enough, Molu came out and debunked those statements and shamed him. So I got no problem with his leaving. The question to if his leaving is a blow or not to the CDC.
Yeah. So the first thing is, has there been internal conflict or fight over power within the CDC?
Uh, if I should get you clear, fight over power in which way?
Has there been any internal ranking among the executives?
Every institution will always have internal wrangling.
Okay.
But Sir Joseph was one of the powerful person within the CDC. Which position would he have wanted within the CDC? He was the chair on executive. Okay. Which position would he have wanted for which he could not have gotten? So I think maybe with the desire to become president, and he feels that two captains cannot be on the same boat or ship. That's the reason he decided to find his own political party, which I have no problem with it. Okay.
So yes, go ahead and tell us if
So consciously, I will admit to you that if anybody should say Sir Joseph leaving was not a blow to the party, that person will be joking. Now, joke in which way? Sir Joseph leaving was a blow. Assuming you have your son or your daughter that you have sponsored in school for 18 years, and you expect that school or that child to have graduated and then start to benefit you for tomorrow, and that child becomes a Zoko. Why it is true you are not the one in the street, but you have lost resources on that child. It is a blow to you, the family. The CDC invested a lot in Honorable Sir Joseph. I personally ran his campaign. That was investment. There were times we stood on the ring. Okay. There were times we went to places along with him. So I was thinking was that but now Sir Joseph will have paid back those services we ran up to him. We were thinking that if Sir Joseph could have remained in CDC up to now, he could have done more than what he did yesterday. So his leaving negate those things we have expected of him. His leaving stagnate those progresses that he did for us yesterday, for which we felt he could still do tomorrow. So yes, his leaving is a blow. Because our investment, our anticipation in him became a failure. We never thought that there would have been a day like today that Sir Joseph would have departed from the CDC. But yet, CDC is a political party which is full of dynamism. We are not static. Okay. So, on the other note, does his leaving destroys the CDC in totality? No.
Okay.
There are still men more qualified than him. There are still men. There are still men that are equipped to take the CDC to another level. So it says to let you know that the going of one person prepares another giant to come in the picture. So there were people that who have shone within the CDC, but because of those people that we just mentioned, maybe the Tifa, the Sir Joseph, and lack of other people that may soon follow, that were being shadowed, that were not given the opportunity to shine. So now that they are going, there will also be some heroes.
It's another opportunity for other people.
Yes. And then it brings to mind when the CDC just lost the election. I have my personal chat room, Nima Fawia, and there were people in tears and so forth. But the president came and the then president, he came and gave us some words of solace. He said, Shadrach, tell them not to cry. It was better that we lost because we had so many skeleton within our closet that we had to get rid of.
That was what Joshua said.
Yes. He said there are so many people in this system that are fighting against us, so we have to set our house in order. We have to overhaul the system. There's a need for us to recalibrate the system. CDC is a system. There are two ways in which you overhaul your system, either by automatic means or by manual means. So the automatic means is what's going on now. Other people that feel disenchanted, finding a way to go out. And some of those people directly or indirectly serve as impediment to the successes of the party.
Okay, so those are living. Are some of those that you believe maybe the former president was talking about?
Some of them,
Mhm.
okay, because
No, to be specific,
Mhm.
there's Thomas Fowler and that of San Jose. Do you believe that they were the ones the former president was talking about when he said there
we
were
have
people in the.
Scarlington,
Mhm.
I would have never believed that an icon like Thomas Fowler would have been among those Scarlington in the closet, because Thomas Fowler was one of those best species that the CDC has ever produced. He was one of those smartest politicians. He was one of those that were, when we discussing being benevolent, philanthropist. Sir Joseph, okay, there wasn't a program that Sir would not contribute to. So I wouldn't have believed that they were part of those Scarlington. But the heart of a man is heavily deceitful. Who can understand it?
Okay.
So probably there were so many Scarlington, or there are still so many Scarlington that we may and may not know about. But as time goes by, they may unfold.
Hmm. Okay, so can we also say, because we had that discussion here, and other people term, especially San Joseph, as being ungrateful as well to the party, especially coming along with all of the revelations, allegations I with.
So again, like I told you, I believe in dynamism. I believe in progress. You can take it from as a two-sided ash.
Okay.
One may say Sir Joseph was ungrateful, and one may say he went in the quest of self-advancement or improvement. Let's underscore his ungratefulness. Yes, he was ungrateful in the sense that through all his dining and warning with President Weah, he never came out to say we were not speaking. That the CDC, he did not name those lapses.
Mhm.
He just named within the CDC. But is it now that President Weah is out of job, that the CDC has lost power, that he's coming out to label those lapses? Is it now that he can pinpoint that CDC wanted to kill him? So those are ungratefulness, almost like you do everything for your wife and then you lost job, and then she comes to say, since I met you, you didn't do anything for me, this, that, and so forth. Yes, I know you have one Bill Gates, you want to marry Bill Gates, but at least appreciate what I did for you yesterday. That's the sign of ungratefulness. And like I also told you, I don't ascribe to the philosophy of being stagnated. We all have our franchise politically. Also decided to move up to another level to become a president. If it works for him, thank God. So, on that note, I say partly he was ungrateful to the institution and the standard bearer that made him. Okay, because it sounds laughable that you say that George Weah did not contribute to you, which even the youngest politician in Liberia would know that President Weah immensely contributed to Sir Joseph's relevance. So coming out to say President Weah did not contribute to you, that's ungratefulness, ingratitude to the highest extent.
Okay, so recently we listened to Monserrado District 9 Representative Frank Safoko that there's a need for the CDC. The CDC set up the asset recovery team within the CDC to retrieve properties that CDC gave to Sir Joseph. Do you support this idea?
So it is to Safoko, Honorable Frank Safoko, to ascertain and prove those properties that were given to Sir Joseph.
Okay.
If it is proven and those property belongs to the party, it is a due right to demand them. but I don't really know anything about properties that Sir Joseph have taken from the party. I'm a realist.
Okay, let's come back to the recent issue that took place at the headquarters as the eviction and demolition of properties at the headquarters. How do you feel?
Obviously, I feel bad. I feel disappointed. I feel very disheartening. But again, I feel motivated because if a bad landlord pushes you against the wall or tells you to leave his place, it also propels you or motivates you to have your own place. So, but then evading the CDC from that HQ does not mean we are getting you out of politics. It could also mean an opportunity set aside to find somewhere better than where you were yesterday. I've always believed that every disappointment is an opportunity in disguise. So, yes, I feel bad, but I also feel motivated that tomorrow, our future headquarters will be better than what we had yesterday. That's the optimism that pushed me forward.
So, let's talk about the bad side. You say you feel bad. How are you feeling bad?
I feel bad that we have a domicile to this place for over 20 years. We rightfully paid our dues, our fees for over 20 years. And the manner in which we were out from the place was not actually proper.
Okay.
Proper in terms, we understand that you agree you didn't want the CDC to buy the area. At one point, you told us, look, we want you to buy this property, right? And then you say to us that there is also a church. We have a written communication. The mayor to understand that there's a church that wanted to also buy this property. But the church was going to pay 2.5 million. In fact, 2 million. But if CDC needed this property, CDC should pay 4.5 million. I want you to understand the ironical point. We have rented your place for 20 years. We have invested over millions on this property. We had the option to have bought this property. But we couldn't have bought this property because there was a series of confusion. In 2016, there was a ruling from the Supreme Court. And since then to present, the case has not been adjudicated until recent. At one point, the Denstar will claim to be the owner. Another point, the Bonas will claim to be the owner. Another point, the Beslos will come in to be the owner. Another point, Kazulus will come in to be the owner. A single parcel of land with over 5 different properties owner or administrators claiming to be the owner. Within the Bonans themselves were heavy disenchantment and disagreement.
So were you as a party able to meet with all of the parties to know exactly who owns the place?
Now, that was the process because the party could not have known who actually owned this property until the court comes out with its adjudication. And the party could not have invested any amount of money so huge in the wrongful party. So people saying the CDC was lackadaisical in purchasing the party headquarters, they were not serious. No, that wasn't the case. CDC as an individual was waiting to do business with the rightful administration, the rightful owner of the property. Because you can't give Bona money today as the owner of the property, then tomorrow Denstar can also say no. Or you can't give Denstar 4 million yesterday, then today Bona can also say no. So they were waiting for the court. So in the wait of the process, we met the Bona, we met the Denstar, and there were communication from last year that Denstar themselves, after I can send the communication to you later, that Denstar themselves told us that they were going to sell that property to the CDC, but at the rate of 4 million.
Okay.
Yeah. So, what now you intend
And was the CDC prepared to pay the 4 million?
Yes, the CDC was prepared.
Okay.
But this is what the law says also, right? If I have the first preference to buy, because I live on this property for over 20 years,
Mhm.
you cannot charge me 4.5 million and insist that I pay this 4.5 million instantly when I have dwelt on this property for over 20 years. Payment due. Okay, I have an investment on this property. And from the owner told that there was some political or fair play. Okay, there was some influences, because why would you say that you are selling this property, right? But there's a church that also want to buy the property that you want to give to them for 2 million. But if the CDC so desire to buy this property for which she has paid for over 20 years, she should pay 4.5 million. So if you are doing a business, why can't you come up with a fair analysis for which everybody will adhere to? But if the CDC wants to buy for something that she has paid over millions of dollars for over 20 years, she should pay 4.5 million. But then you have another option of a church that is wanting to pay 2 million.
Maybe the church is not a political party.
So in business, your common interest is your profit, what you make. So whether if I'm selling this banana, whether I sell to the pastor, I sell to the deacon, to the imam, okay, my sale should be my concern.
Okay, so if the CDC were prepared to pay 4 million, had the case gone straight, like the way you were expected, so what is 4.5 million? Some may say that CDC cannot pay because it just came from power.
No. Now, even if they had said 10 million, the CDC was prepared to pay.
Okay.
But when they came up with the 4.5 million, the party agreed to pay. Later on, we were informed.
The CDC agreed to pay 4.5
Yes.
million. Okay.
Yes. Evidently, yes. And then we were informed by then that they didn't want the party to buy the property no longer.
Okay.
They no longer wanted the party to buy the property. The money wasn't the issue again. All they wanted was the party should leave. So it was based on that. I was part of the team that went to our legal law firm. We tried to do a petition to the Supreme Court that, look, this is a written document. You asked us, you promised us that we were going to buy this property. So why not you changing your word? But again, a better go can never be set free in the court, where the leper is the judge. So everything CDC did was to no avail.
Okay. So do you now believe that Dempster is the owner of the property?
The property comes in manifold.
Okay.
But for that identical error, the court has apportioned it for Dempster. Yeah.
So this is the question that I've been asking all of the time, that who should we blame the invasion that took place at the headquarters? Who should we blame? Because we other people, we had a discussion. A lot of people say it was the government. Others say CDC officials. They spent 6 years in power. They had like, according to San Jose, 150 million as campaign money. They were not able to pay 4 million of that to now. So who can we blame?
So the issue of Sir Joseph become another topic for later discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Because in as much as part of his speech became flawed and lied, so everything he says is a lie. So I don't want us to discuss that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the CDC is a very responsible party. So if anybody blame the CDC for not purchasing that place for over the past 6 years, then that person will be in error.
Okay.
In error because I told you that the CDC could not purchase the property because the property was in dispute. Okay. To whom could we have bought the property? The Beslos came out to say they were the owner. The Kazulu came out to say they were the owner. Bonan claimed to have been the owner, for which we all know that that property has been considered as the Bonan's property. Okay, because William Thomas Bonan, who was referred to nickname as Tommy Bob Bonan, was the biological father of Achiba Bonan,
Okay.
who is the current son and the current one dwelling on the property. So his father was the one that owned this property. So in the absence of law, in the absence of legality, until proven likewise, anyone could have believed that Achibo was the rightful owner of the property.
And Achibo served as legal advisor to the
Legal
person.
advisor. Okay, anyone could have believed because from the 70s, Achibo lived on that property. So CDC said, no, we don't want to be so fast in paying any amount of money to Achibo. We don't want to be very fast in paying any money to Denstar. Yes, Kazulu, we know you are also coming with a deed that this property belongs to you. But we don't also want to be fast in giving you this money.
So who then were you paying the rent to?
At first, we were paying the rent to Achibo.
Okay.
Okay. We're paying the rent to Achibo.
Why did you? Because you say you don't want to pay money to Achibo or Dempster or whoever. Why decide to pay money to Achibo?
The CDC got on that property since 2006 or what.
Mhm.
And that case, that court or the case has not been in conflict since 2006. So Achibo was the one we knew as the owner.
Okay.
But then he wasn't offering to sell the property. So he was on a rented level. So we rented the property from him from that time for over 20 years. Until 2016, when the family went to court, that's when we knew that there was dispute. When at certain point the court ruled in favor of the Denstar, the Ibrema, who were the sons of Matabona.
The Achibo tell the executive of the party that this case, the particular property is in court or is in confusion, or he just claim himself to be the owner of the place before you start to pay rent.
Now, the wisdom of the party not purchasing this place from Achibo did not come from his hearing to say, oh, he's saying to the party that this property is in court. The court process was something that was glittering. It was on BBC, or let's say it was on media. That everybody knew about it. The ruling was done. Everyone knew about it. Okay.
So when the ruling was done, it was done in favor of who?
It was dangling. So the first ruling
in 2016.
In 2016, it was done in favor of the Denstar.
Okay.
And it was challenged in the lower court by Bonan, and Bonan won the case.
Okay.
And then the Denstar again challenged. So it was like a seesaw up and down. Okay. At one point, Bonan will prevail, another time the Denstar prevail. In that process, the Kazulu will also emerge as the owners of the property. Other parties also come in. So the CDC could not do business with anybody that has not been proven by the court as the legit owner of the property.
So since 2017 up to 2024, were you been able to pay your rent? And to whom?
So, like I told you, the CDC were paying rent previously to Bonan. But at a certain point, Denstar came on and said, no, those money you paid yesterday were paid to the wrong person. Okay, so this is the rent that you needed to pay for me, to me, which were around the sum of 350,000, and that money was paid last year June, for which the receipt were all been displayed even on media everywhere. Okay,
so what was the reaction from Achibo when you paid the money to Dempster, or where is the Achibo Bernal currently in this case?
Achibo is presently in Monrovia, and his stand in the case is that, the Supreme Court just came down with another verdict that, by virtue of death, according to them, marriage is dissolved.
Okay.
So this man had children before Matthew came in. So you cannot say that because he died, so everything he had in the property, and let's say as property, the rest of the children lost. So what we will do, you all will revert to the probate court, and the probate court will find means to see how best they can share the property amongst every one of you, including the Achibo himself. That's the new verdict. Okay. But that portion that CDC was owning still belonged to the Denstar.
Okay, Shaja G. Thomas Doki is our guest this morning. He's the founder and chairman of the NIMBA for WIA in 2023. That was able to get about 50,000 plus votes for the CDC in Nimba County, is I guess this morning. So let's look at the governance today. After the election since 2024 up to current, how do you see the governance of the United Party?
Well, like I told you, I'm a realist. The United Party is doing her best.
Okay.
I must admit, they are doing their best, but their best may not be to the expectation
Okay.
of Liberians. Their best is not what we expected of them. Because we would have expected more from the United Party than what they are doing now.
Within the short period of time.
Okay. I don't know your definition for short period of time.
Because it just, when I say
When
short period of time,
the CDC
it's-
took power
Mhm.
in less than 6 months. President George Weah was inaugurated in January
Mhm.
2018.
Yeah.
And in the same 2018, March 21st, at 2018, the 14 military barrack project started.
Okay.
On September 26, 2021, the project was completed. In 2019, the Dole Community Project started. In 2020, which was less than 3 years, it started to build the administrative building in Nima County, in Sanikode. The bridge in Gui and Dodu were being constructed.
See,
The hospital
started
in-
build administrative building in Nimba. Is it which part?
The present administrative building in Ganto was
Okay,
erected,
Ganta.
yeah,
Okay.
was erected by President Weah.
Okay.
The bridge that connects Babli was constructed by President George Weah. The hospital today that is built in Gui and Dodu was constructed by President George Weah. So, in less than 3 or 2 years period, there were so many that were done on President George Weah. Okay, and some of those dividends, this government still or reap and boast upon. So, like I said, we expected more because we would have expected that by now, because one of those key propaganda that brought this government to power was because the then government was promoting drugs. So we have felt or believed that by now, if not eradicated in totality, but on a good scale,
Mhm.
drugs would have been eliminated. But you will agree with me that drugs is on the increase more than yesterday. You will agree with me that the number of death rate as related to drugs infection is more than yesterday. Today you had Technospark Kyoto. I don't know Technospark Kyoto.
Yeah. Spark Android, not Techno.
Um, yeah, okay. Spark.
Techno is a phone.
Yeah,
so
I
Spark Android.
oh yeah, Spark Android Kyoto. Okay. And on a daily basis, sometimes if 3% does not that, 4, 5, and you know. So those are things that we expected that this government, okay, that this government will have actually improved on.
Okay.
Yesterday we have free education, but today they are nowhere. So many things. During days of President Weah, the number of students that passed in WAS were by far more than what we experience today.
Okay. In President Ria's regime, the number of students that passing wax
Yeah. Okay.
were more than the
What we experience today, because
Okay.
one may say maybe because they have difficulties in terms of tuition payment, they have difficulty in terms of paying their WAS fees and other things.
But nobody's still paying WAS fees. The WAS fees is still being paid by the
by government. No. Do your research.
Okay.
Do your research. Last year I had a daughter that I paid her WAS fee. Okay. Unlike the days of President Weah, that it was free.
Okay.
So
Mhm.
before you just go, like I said, this government is doing her best
Mhm.
because there were things that the then regime started at the end, and those are projects that they are still moving on. I have not yet seen, except you inform me, of any project that this government has started on its own. Okay, except where maybe they want to start completing after, because government is continuity. Okay, so maybe when they shall have completed everything that was that was started by their predecessor, then they'll start their own folk.
Okay, so what prospects do you see this government coming up with before their term ends?
What
What
prospect?
do you see Liberia after this term of the Unity Party?
Okay, like for me, what I see could be different from the reality, because what I see is what I perceived.
Okay.
I perceive a better Liberia. I am an optimist. I never feel for this government to become a failure, except in reality where they become a failure. Okay, because if Liberia fails, I fail. If Unity Party fail, Liberia fail. And if Liberia fails, my children fail. I fail as an individual. And posterity stands to judge us upon the failure of Liberia. So I, as an individual,
Mhm.
I see Liberia being, or I pray for Liberia to be a better country on President Joseph Yimabwaka. I envisage a country where drugs will not kill our children. Development will be the hallmark of the day. I envisage a country wherein human rights will be the hallmark of the day. I envisage a country that people will protest freely without molestation from government. I envisage a country that everybody can work to sustain themselves, if not in government, but at least the government herself will open avenues. Government should be the least employer, but government should open avenues that companies will come and invest to help other people work in private sector. So I envisage so many things. I won't feel that I just need.
Okay, so if you're asked to make some recommendations to the government, what could be some?
I firstly I would like to recommend to the government that she needs to improve on the side of her human right.
Okay.
Yeah.
What have you seen?
Human right in the sense that the police brutality is too much. The police brutality is too much.
Okay.
In less than a year, the police have killed more than 10 persons. Okay. People should be given their individual rights to protest, to do whatever. I would like to recommend that the government should do more by soliciting help or investment. That the government should do more in fighting corruption. Because a corrupt country goes nowhere. We all heard that yesterday the then administration was corrupt. So it was based on those demands that you were given the mantle to come and set the record straight.
But do you agree that the past government was corrupt?
Until proven.
Okay.
Because since they claim the burden of proof lies upon the complainant was given the mantle to prove his case. And now he has the authority. But since this administration came into power, how many corrupt officials have they tried? I agree. You said the past government was corrupt, but bring them to court. Bring them to tax. Not to come and in less than no time become more than them. Okay? Or are you afraid to try them? Are you afraid to bring them to justice because you are doing the same thing? So bring them to book and prove your case.
Okay, folks, it's up to you now. And the cash giveaway is on *79 and *9# is the code. And today is just ordinary day. And of course, you stand a chance of winning 20,000 $100 times 2. That is 40,000. So *79 and *9# is the code. Make sure your Lone Star Sales subscriber 200 per transaction and you're good to go. So you can call us now on 0777 907 907 0777 907 907 0887 111 087 111 These are the numbers to call and be a part of the discussion this morning on Blaze 90.7. So Shadrach Thomas Duki is my guest this morning. Speak to him this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, live. Go ahead.
Oh, first of all, let me say you're still guest. A big thank you this morning for a clarity and other things from the past government in this world. But first of all, you should thank the police for the level of maturity and the level of human rights that they observed since they were making the power.
Okay.
Because there were a lot of protests and other things. Police went there, they took good care of it. There was no casualty. So I believe that you should tell it, you should bless them, tell the police thank you for those. Then what happened they go on June 7th? I don't know June 7th or July 7th, 17. People went there, the SSR, they were or whatsoever they want to do, and the police went there, they took care of everything. So I believe that you should tell the police thank you. I don't see nothing the police brutality this administration.
Okay.
That what happened last year. So I would like to tell you thank you for that again, and you should praise the police for that.
Thank you. Let's take this. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Yes, live. Go ahead.
My name is Robert Wolfen calling from GSA Road. My senior brother in the studio has said it all. But just to add on to his recommendation to the government, I think the government need to open the revenues.
The account grade of 2005, when account grade of 5 for the CDC, that he was sounding. So, I mean, as he was saying that as men go, men come out. So that's it. And he was talking about something that prompted me to call the police brutality. And some account of police brutality that we have seen. It should have happened in Tema County. The police has shot somebody dead. And in last year, the first year of the United Party, one guy, I don't forget his name, but his wife named Pinel Topa, Johnson, something called area. Now you see scary police and they killed that man, the husband of Pinel Topa. Who will not see how the police handle the chairman of the CDC in recent past. So they will say the police doing well. Yeah, they're doing well, but a lot of police brutality in very short time, even involving the death of our citizens. Can you imagine that? So thank God that he appointed to that portion when it comes to human rights, especially the rule of law that is part of their arrest. One of the arrows, according to them, they say that rule of law. You saw when the president, when the Supreme Court of our country rule on the basis of our constitution, our president entered the Melto to protect and uphold the constitution, enter the country and slap the constitution in the face by saying that what the Supreme Court said he will not follow. So I think these things are concerning.
Thank you.
So thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
To this caller. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, live. Go ahead. I'm okay. Go ahead.
My name is Justin Calabé, and I call from my Town resident.
Mm-hmm.
So let me say, the CDC will now have gotten the number of votes they got there. So coming to national issue, all of what they spoke against yesterday are exactly the same things they are doing today. Just a couple of days ago, our president took 40% delegation to Japan. and came back empty-handed. We see our young people, generation, to this menace. The government said it was President Weah at the time that was breaking drugs in the country. So we voted against President Weah. Up to now, just has become even worse in that administration. We come to corruption. Corruption is a serious issue. What the president does is that he suspends the people and it goes along with the millions or thousands of dollars. There is no accountability. Somebody goes a BlackRock, makes 1.7 million annually and reports 500,000. The man takes home around 1.1 million or 900,000, and all you do is to sustain him and allow him to go. So we have a serious problem. The government is failing on a daily basis. You have people at LTA whose generator fuel money is around 3,600, whereas you got thousands of people going to bed hungry. They are not addressing the bread and butter issue. So I think something needs to be done. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Justin.
Let's go this way and get this go. Good morning.
Good morning. Zala Unicorn. I wish you good morning to your studio guest. My name is Joseph S. Tamba, and I'm from District Number 6, Maswano County. There is a really appreciate your studio guest so much this morning for the level of education you have provided to the public, more especially about the breakdown of the party report. I think this young brother has more insight, and that's why he has provided. I think those are passing around with criticism that the parties were broken down by this government. Listen to the start down quietly and listen to him explain bit by bit its transactions, that kind of thing. I think as an idea, this company is not even more into that.
Okay.
You know, I would appreciate it. He's been very sincere to the discussion at points of time. But I know the political party you from, sometimes it's kind of real, sometimes it don't come real. I understand that. Sometimes you have a defenses party as well. But he's a very intelligent guy.
Thank you.
For the word speak. I do appreciate it. And I never knew that CDC had young brain like this guy. So that is
Thank you.
Because as a leader, representing people, you will recognize what your power or your opponents, you will recognize that effort. And that is a positive from the Union Party. You need to recognize some effort from the Union Party led company. Not like others who will just pick up and just criticize everything and just criticize everything.
Thank you.
So let me say thank you to him. Let me say bravo in his studio for Johnny. I do appreciate it. I will call upon him to come to District Number 6, where I will be taking all the money to leadership.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Jeff.
So they want this says who want to take one? Yeah, Oracle, go ahead.
This is Oracle, and I'm calling from District 6. So let me say a very big thank you to your studio guest. So my first intro will be like, CDC is not a party for him, because in CDC, we don't find objective people, we don't find people that can do recommendations. He has much he can come to the platform, being too objective, it shows that CDC is not his party. He needs a better party than the CDC. So I'm expecting to commend him for the Thomas Fala and that of Joseph issue he talked about. Anybody leading a party must be a blow to the party. But the only thing that party will not fall, because there are still other young guys, like he said, there are certain people that need to give the way for other people to come in. But the way some of our brothers believe that those two people that left, they are not entered to the party, that was a serious problem. So at least he was able to make it clear. This might be a factor. But they are not greater than the party still remains. And there is a possibility there are more young people in the party who can play the same role they were playing. That's how leadership is. And the one thing he said, I want to correct him. I think he said he's not asking for WASC, but they don't want to see your money. No student must not pay WASC. WASC is there free, no school collect what fees from people. Say nothing was instituted by the past government. It still live on today. Nobody pay what fees. So they don't want to just take money from you for different purpose. He talk about the issue of the wife result. My brother like brother never have good wife result. Why just create strategy? This the benchmark of passing was is 5 subjects, including math and English. So before when you pass 3, it doesn't mean you pass. So you will find more people passing 3, 4, 5, 6 with the exception of math and English, you will still go back for research. So watch result have never been good for any student in Nigeria. You have never seen a place like where you have over 86 division 2. Watch result have never been good for anybody. It's just like most people will pass in 2, 3, 4, 5 subjects with the exception of math and English. So you will be passing 4, you receive certificates. But once you pass math and English, you still got to go for research. Also, have never been good for any government to boast of. Thank you very much. This morning.
Thank you. Let me take this one. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, man, Nancy. Good morning.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm okay, man.
I just want to appreciate the brother in the studio over there. But what I want to say this morning about the situation and the United Party this morning is that let everyone hold his or her peace. If the person wrong campaign against you for the sake of certain thing, and at the end of the day, the person not fulfill, and at your campaign message there, if you think you can run at your campaign message there. So the United Party people too, you condemn the people yourself, you're the rightful people to come and do so things. So that they just focus on what they think they condemn their friend to do it. Because the particular thing at the end of the day, if you condemn somebody, say the person is not worth. When you do it the rightful way, your way will be easier. Other people will say, oh, the person promised and he did well. And when you not focus again, you hold it and put it, it will not be able to solve the problem. And I want to tell your fellow girls this morning that they should not continue to feel so discouraged about Thomas' father and that of the Sir Joseph man. If Jesus Christ can be betrayed by Judas, whatsoever that in the Bible, it must come to pass. Jesus was betrayed by Judas, and he never knew that Judas was going to betray him. So if they continue to go in the studio and be saying that big gap, it will make the people proud.
Okay.
So the only thing they're supposed to do is to continue to pray that somebody that will come to do extra. So if somebody, when your friend may push you, you're not expecting the man to tell you, say, oh, soon behind you, all right behind you, take time before you can't fall down, you hear. So if your friend may push you, you got to send a man to fight for yourself so you can be able to fall. So that they just forget, but I believe that there will be others that will do more than the people that they're crying for. So if they continue to say this, they will make them proud.
Thank you. Thank you, man. Nancy. Really appreciate that. Let's do this one. Good morning. Okay, call us. Okay, call this. Good morning. Yes, live. Go ahead.
Yes, this is colleague Talakwai. I do call you from the home page of like 12 years for your initiative in Salary Lofa County.
You where?
Something. Lofa County, Salary Lofa County.
Wow. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, I'm firing live on the social media page.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, thank you very much for the discussion this morning. And let me say good morning to my dear brother in studio there.
Good morning.
Well, you have put it right, and the guest has also put it right. I'm trying to fight against drugs in this country. Is the government need to take serious stand against. Drugs is not something to joke with. And if you see today, the fight against drugs is kind of declining and falling is because the way how it was handled in the past. Because it was being politicized in the past, that today it is giving the current government hard time. Because we politicized it in the past. And today, we are finding it very difficult to get Liberian hands on this to fight against the drugs. And drugs issue is not about one person. It's everyone's business. We all need to come together to fight against the drugs. It could be you, your son. It could be your child. It could be my child. But quality is making everything to be difficult in this country. And one of the issues I would like also to talk about is the president's trade. For the president to travel outside Liberia is not bad. But with this kind of huge dedication, with the country that it is struggling, the agriculture sectors of this country is struggling, the health sectors of this country is struggling, all of the sectors of this country is struggling. They cannot get the needed resources and funds to run the very institution, and you are going with 43, 40, 30, dedicate outside Liberia and coming with nothing. I don't support the government on that. The government need to reduce the wasteful spending. Government need to reduce it in order to support the agricultural sectors of this country. Instead of having 40 dedicated and returning with nothing, I don't think it is in the best interest of this country, and I don't think it is okay for our country, and the president need to take a stand against the threat of drugs in order to save this country for drugs. Because I can say to you here this morning that instead of Liberia fighting drugs, it is drugs that is fighting Liberia now. Drugs is now fighting Liberia, and if we are not careful and care is not taken, I can bet assure you in the coming day, in the coming year, Liberia going to be a drugs country where we will live here in no peace. It comes in Salahi. There are bulk of our young people that are here in Salahi local countries that are living on drugs. And the numbers are increasing on a daily basis. It's almost like a society now. Okay. And young people are taking a lot of drugs. The people need to stand against it. And the president have the authority. The president needs to fight. See what is happening to Liberia drug enforcement agents. The operation director and other guys, they are having fun. They are having fun among themselves. You guys are there to fight against drugs. You guys are fighting among yourselves. So tell me, how would this drugs be fought in the country? So the guy is right. I 100% support him. And someone that I know him, he's a hardworking people that I know him very well. So let all continue to engage the government in a positive direction in order to do the right thing for our country. Because if Liberia achieve, if Liberia progress, it will be everyone of our progress. If the fight against drugs be successful, it is for everyone of our. For the president providing me the opportunity this morning.
Thank you, and yeah, it's a good thing to do. So keep following. So keep your calls coming on 0777907. Let me take this call on the other side. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, live. Go ahead.
Okay, my name is Martinez Martin Tingman, and I join you from Electoral District number 6, Muscle County, the most abundant district in the Republic of Liberia. And a very proud neighbor to the Vice President, Honorable Jeremiah Fanku. Okay, to the issue. Let me take the morning to the civil guest. You know, I listened to him and I listened to him very keenly. He said something, and I want to say to him, it's a complete contradiction. He is contradicting himself. Why would you say government is opportunity when you coming back saying that the government having taken a single project to the public to say, okay, this is the project that we ourselves about to start and will be finishing. So are you forgetting logistics is now a project? Are you also forgetting the recent costing unit that is there for the airway in Nima? Oh, are you forgetting? So if you're talking about government responsibility, so tell me now, why are you
talking about the renovation in San Nicolas?
Of course.
Okay.
So then tell me, why are you really talking about? Are you forgetting the logistics that is done for the fire service? Oh, is there now a project? Are you also forgetting the logistics? They also go for the medical center GFK. Are you also forgetting? So why are you contradicting yourself instead of saying the right thing? And let me say to Patrick, the issue of division for being selected, you will always find CDC recognition. Let's say, for example, I think I said this before and I will say it again. There are two youth leadership within the CDC under the youth league. You get the revolutionary first-time voter and you have the first-time voters. Those are all youth league or leadership. So, being selected, there was a guy on Sarah should be the one telling that position as the first and voter chair. All because you have one party leader affiliated or one charity, you join in charity as the first and voter chair. Is that what you're telling us? So first thing you have to start from that own party and start the division and being selected. Thank you very much for the opportunity this morning.
Call us on 077907907 07790707087 These are the numbers to call and be a part. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, live. Go ahead.
My name is Max calling from Sokoine. Brother, thank you for everything. You know, I left the city and everybody we are President we will be. So you don't even see the and then you want president or making people. No, don't do it. Don't do that thing. They may go away party. They are very slow. So president too. Because our man who resign, never call him resign. He can resign. The party. If you want to resign, we'll say for it. We can resign the other party. That's what we resign. We say respect. But it means relevant in the country. You can hear what I mean again? No. I was saying you have to put anything. But I tell you today.
Yes, I did again.
You can hear it again. There's no relevant. It means relevant. Got it? So I can now go into the because if you want president, then you go into you need 20 years. You go. Il est pas des show. I go to the government. They come everything they can't follow the rescue. But everything was on president we are on CC. You also can experience. You can't rush the poor. Then you can't hold the city plane. All the one we have to the where. They want to people to the where. They want to come. Where you can move now? Where you can therefore now? They know that you want to share plane to get the game power. You see the Percy. Get our ball. Everything okay. La pose oh yeah, quand même we are but thinking about say they go to nothing.
Okay.
For what they everything getting is you can actually move all there simply. Look what happened to the city I got on. And for best even and boy.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is ex BioGuard David, and I call you from my Commonwealth residence. Let me first extend appreciation to Comrade Shadrach Doki Thomas for such a brilliant deliberation. I think he spoke to the issues. And thank you as well for your informative show.
Thank you.
Now to the issue. I think that the headquarters, the former headquarters of the CDC was a symbol of hope for those marginalized individuals. It was a symbol of unity for religious, political integrations. And on the actual note, we will definitely miss that area. We also are aware that the way the eviction that turned demolition went on, which the police officers were involved into breaking structure. You wouldn't know that in the Monarch Tech building the school building. There were computers. There were sewing machines and other educational materials still in that building, and all were damaged. It's unfortunate just because somebody wanted to get out the CDC. Again, note that this is not the first time for the Unity Party government to hit at the CDC. They did that in 2020, 2006, 2007, 2008, and they didn't make it at all.
2011.
Again, see what they did. The first thing is they went to the sycamore tree and began to root up the tree in their minds. The tree has some kind of root in it and root up the tree. And I read one of the posts from their spiritual leader, Bob Nigga, who said the spells have been broken. So I was kind of wondering what kind of spell was it. But the spirit of the party still live. We wish everybody well. Thank you and God bless you.
Okay. Thank you. And let's take a few calls and then we'll go back to our
Hello?
guest. Good morning, you're live. Go ahead. What's your name?
Calling from District 11,
Okay.
Dupo Road, Barnsley to be precise.
Mm-hmm.
The issue of President Weah and that of the current leadership, Joseph Newman Barker, I think what we should be discussing now is President Weah was in error, or the government they were in error, we discuss it. And Joseph Barker, in error now, we discuss it. Let us do away with politicizing legal matters, domestic issues in this country. They will continue, and the country will not go nowhere. Because I've been knowing George Weah for 1981. I'm on UPS. I know we are very good. Even the people who call him a sedition today, they don't know we are. We are first property he bought in this country was 1982. Barnsley, to be precise. He had problem with the family there. They took him to court and they reasserted him how he went to rehab today. I know we have to be a legal minded person. So I play for Mother Sparrow. We are 3 places in the country. Martha Jail, UCO, and Polo. Kevin Singbe, all used to meet in Matari Park. We will bring his assignment there. Kevin Singbe, all stay down and do it together. Nobody knows me. We are more than me. Who's speaking to you? So let us do away with this politicizing. If we are working, let's discuss it.
Okay.
Joseph Newman Barker, let us discuss it. But every time people politicizing, CDC, this, that.
Thank you.
I must commend the police command do away with it. Politics, they will not go nowhere. We got the expertise here, but every time people want to politicize, journalists want to politicize. Why? Let us do away with it, my brother.
Thank you.
And first ahead, we have a unique, organized country. Everything people want politics. Now the journalists are all involved into this thing. Where are we heading? We're heading nowhere.
Okay.
So that's my,
Thank you.
that's mine.
Thank you. We appreciate that. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Yes, I'm okay. Go ahead.
My name is Emmanuel Johnson, and I call you from Pinsville.
Mm-hmm.
So the guest in studio does not speak like a physician because we know how typical physicians speak. Sorry if I'm being sarcastic, but to find a young man who is as objective as he is, pinpointing some of the lapses in the government and providing recommendation, I think CDC should look up to him. He's somebody who has the expertise, who could do well for CDC, because it takes people with courage to be within our party and do some of the things in doing or say some of the things in saying. Because we have heard people from the party who said that the likes of Fala, they were parasites on the party, and that departure did not have any bearing. And in politics, every number counts. If he had influential people like Sarah and Sal leaving the party, and somebody says to you those people were not were parasites to the party, then it speaks volume. So to have such brilliant young men come up with this kind of analysis, I think the CDC those are the hem of authority in the party should consider uplifting this guy and making him somebody who I think, because he pre-represents the party, is forceful the way he conducts himself. He's not that combative. But some people go to studio, you see them trying to pull one, shouting here and there. No. The man is using words very carefully. So I want to acknowledge him, and I pray the party sees him as somebody very, very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So we'll take one more call and then we allow our guests now to speak. Good morning.
Good morning, Alex.
Yes, good morning.
And good morning to your studio guests.
Good morning.
Well, my name is Prince Family, and I'm phoning from Peace with you this morning.
Okay.
Well, let me begin by saying a very big thanks to your studio guest this morning. I think he spoke clearly. I think he was to the point, and he brought in several recommendations for which it is good. And I wish him well in your endeavors. You know, the issue of the CDC has been one issue that has had burning for every Liberian that know that party, that has been with the party before. I think it is frustrating for us. It is devastating for us. We hope to have a new place home. But my question to your student again is, what are the reforms are they bringing into the CDC again? Well, especially in Nima County, I understood this year you were able to pull 50,000 votes. And my current understanding about body politics in Nima County, the CDC is there. So what mechanisms are they putting into place to re-everything in the spirit of the CDC in Nima County? Because Nima is not for CDC. CDC doesn't have a stake in Nima County anymore. So what mechanisms are they putting into place to be able to ensure that CDC can have a place back in Nima County once more? Thanks for the time.
Okay, so if we just man a cause now, don't you? So you listen to them, even though, you listen to them.
So again, I want to say thank you to all those that made it across by putting in the calls, and to those that also tried calling and were unfortunate to have come across. But to the issue, I want to speak to one Robert Wolfen. So I want to say thank you to him. You know, he tried buttressing my statement when I said government should open more private entities, companies to afford more people to access a job. The government was the least provider of job. You know, when this government started her campaign before coming to power, they spoke on the APM terminal. They spoke on the CTM. You know, the CTM is a body that track containers, shipment. Well, you pay $250 to them to track your container. And what extra work are they doing? You can use your own phone and track your container once you have your container number. So that's just free money. And then this government also made us to understand that they were going to have a reduction in APM terminal fees. But unlike that, it has also increased. So if the government can work on reducing taxation, and you see, one of the problems that I see in Liberia is that we think that increasing taxation will help us develop. I said no. Okay. I said no. The best way we can also develop, which is a recommendation to the government, lower your taxation, especially on import and other stuff, thereby attracting more investment in the country. Because if you are bringing a used car in the country and you bought the car overseas for like $1,200, and then the government is asking you to pay $1,500 as a duty, which is by far more than the purchase price, where are you going? After you have paid your freight, where are you going? But if you should lower your duties, your taxation, you encourage more people to import, thereby attracting more investment in the country. So those are places that the government should also look. Another quarter called and said, sorry, I forget if I forget.
Yeah.
you
So
remind me something.
somebody said,
That's something I'm going to do, the verification.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they said your daughter lied to you that
Yeah.
they're paying one fee, but government has been paying one fee. Well, I was just surprised for you to even bring it out to as well.
Okay.
Somebody also asked, what, in order to get CDC back in the bank.
Yeah, that's a very good question that I equally wanted to part on. So I would like to get this across to him. There is no one party that owns NEMA.
Okay.
Evidently, I say that to you. There is no one party that owns NEMA. So the CDC amassing over 52,000 votes for NEMA tells you that it's a significant figure. The Madians gave this government the opportunity and chance because they felt that this government was going to do more than yesterday. Predicated upon the fact that their son was the vice president and they will have had more people in the employed of the government, thereby attracting more development to NEMA. But undisputedly, I can say to you that the CDC government undertook more development in NEMA in less than 2 years,
okay,
as compared to what this government has done. The CDC-led government had a dam project, a mini dam project that was being erected around the Gbedi end. And that dam project will have supplied NEMA, Bon, and Lufa. The CDC government started the erection of a new hospital, the G. Dehar Hospital in Sanikore. They tried to change the location. I don't want to name the road from Ganto, Sekliki, Tapeta, heading to Granjide, because that's something that everybody knows about. The market building in Ganto was erected by the CDC-led government. The administrative building in Ganto was erected by the CDC.
Within 2 years?
Yes. The project started within 2 years.
Okay.
We endure. Most people refer to that era as the abandoned or forgotten district in Nima. It's between Roses, or let's say Grand Basso and Nima. The CDC government was the only government to have built a modern hospital in that era. The Pabli, which if not 60 or 70% of its occupants are Grandidians, there were no bridge. The government built a modern bridge in that area that cost over $1 million. Okay, that's just for Nima. The CDC government built housing units. There were so many things that CDC did, of whom I can't name all. But then, what has this government done? You're a journalist, okay? For record's sake, maybe you can bring me up to speed. If there is a single project that this government that hosts a son of Nima as the vice president, that this government that came to power on the shoulders of Nima Kante, that this government that decided to dance with the devil, which is Nima, to bring her to power, that this government, okay, that this government that was considered as the daddy boy to Nima Kante, what has this government done for Nima as compared to the government that was ostracized yesterday by Nibadians? So based on the fact, Nima is our common denominator. There is no one Nibadian, regardless of the status, that is more than another Nibadian. We all carry one single vote. Whether you this, you that, you whoever, we all have one single vote. So every Nigerian curve for the success or development of Nima. So the government that stands to develop Nima is the government that Nigerian will go for. And I tell you fact, there are more stories to George Weah that people have not known. There are more untold stories to George Weah. The George Weah that I know. There are more potential in George Weah that has not even been unfolded. And come what may. If this opportunity is given 2029, for which I know Nima will deliver.
Okay.
Okay. George Weah is immensely going to develop Nima.
Okay, so we don't have time now. Just in 2 minutes can conclude.
Okay, so in 2 minutes to conclude, I would like to tell my listener that I'm so impressed by the numbers of calls. And other people called and said I did well, and other people complimented me. But I would like to say to them that on the issue of the departure of both Fala and Sir Joseph, I am not praising Sir Joseph and Thomas Fala. No. I want to try to acknowledge the good time we had together. I don't want to be a pessimist. I'm not optimist. Okay. And I told you that there's a Greek word that says cookie homofeki. Anything another person does, you can do it. So there is nothing magical the day in CDC that somebody cannot do it. No. There is nothing the day that we cannot have people doing it more better than them. And I can assure you, okay, that some of us are even when we remember Zion, when we remember where we came and crafted ideas to move the country forward, when we remember where we came and crafted the government, the agenda. So those things bring memories. So they only want to remember, okay, they went in solidarity. Okay. So by remembering the past, equip you to get stronger for tomorrow.
Okay.
So I also want to say thank you to you. Okay, and I hope that we'll have more.
Of course, we'll have more of.
And on the issue of our headquarters, I want to say to you that I will come back. Will be far better than our setback in terms of infrastructure.
Okay.
Our HQ, the committee has been set. Men are working.
Okay.
And I can assure you, okay, by the grace of God first, and by the effort of our dynamic leader, President Weah, there are some things I don't want to say yet, but there are mechanisms he has put into place.
Okay.
That I think the committee said in a year.
At least a year.
At least a year. But I can assure you from what I just saw before coming, it's going to be less than a year.
Less than a year.
Yeah, that the CDC is going to emerge with a headquarters that is going to, our sheen will be transformed to our program.
Okay.
I can show you that.
Okay, thank you so much. We appreciate that. We really, really appreciate your coming today. And of course, it's a good thing to have you, and we'll have more of these discussions. It's good to have people from the opposition, from the ruling, to also speak to enlighten the minds of our followers and our listeners and Liberians as well. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, folks, we'll say thank you so much for always being there while we are always here. And my name is Alexander Zesko. Yeneke is different. In Liberia, anything is possible. Thank you. Goodbye for now. I'm going to be here tomorrow for another edition of the program, The Blaze on Blaze 90.7. Bye-bye.